Sorry, my ADHD can't.
There were witches that actually lived here, but that hasn't stopped it from being one of the most popular houses on the market this year.
No shot is this a popular house.
There's a huge hole as you walk in the front of the house. We've put a bit of plyboard there, but we're still recommending that people step over that if they can. Some of these houses, they're in such bad condition.
I bet this is $1 million property in Sydney.
Waivers, just so they understand what they're walking into.
There's potential though.
1,000 inquiries online. We've shown about 60 people through the home, sent out 30 contracts. With the market feedback being anywhere 1.3 and 1.4 million. So it just makes it a really...
See what I mean? This is the $1.3 to $1.4 million property in Australia.
Great raw site for someone looking to renovate. Kevin, do you want to look inside here as well?
Yeah. Yep. But they're lucky.
Very lucky.
Yeah.
The buff out. I don't know by the time you renovate this thing.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're here to sell. So we open the bidding, ladies and gentlemen, at 1,100,000. I thank you for that, sir. 1.5. At 1,600,000.
This is crazy.
Selling at 1,918,000. Sold, sir. Congratulations. Ladies and gentlemen, have a great afternoon.
Alarms are going off in Sydney, known as Australia's bellwether property market. The coastal city ranks as the second least affordable housing market in the world among 94 major cities.
This rush is very overwhelming.
There's not enough supply and there's too much demand.
I've been selling in the area for the last 18 years. The Sydney market is the strongest in Australia, and that has to do with the beaches, the accessibility to the city.
Yeah, Sydney's
airports.
expensive.
It's a fantastic location with a huge lifestyle scene.
Sydney is really nice,
I think it's the highest growing population out of all the Australian cities, and that's always going to cause prices to go up when land and homes are scarce. The toughest market I'm finding for buyers are the low-income first-home buyers. And they're often looking at 1-bedroom or 2-bedroom apartments, because you can imagine when rates go...
How much did it get at auction? It was 1.2, I think it sold for.
Go up from 2%
Great
to
house,
6%.
beautiful condition.
That's huge for someone who's on a single income salary, you know, looking to buy their first home.
The predicament is mirrored globally, from the UK to Singapore, with
I think London's meant to be pretty bad like this, isn't it?
So what's driving this housing crunch? And what are the consequences for buyers, sellers, construction firms, and the government?
National home prices in Australia have risen 33% since the onset of the pandemic. At the same time, interest rates are markedly
London's bad,
higher.
yeah.
Now, the reason why we're seeing that is the fact that we've got very tight conditions with respect to the supply of stock on market. We've also got the unemployment rate, which is sitting around a multi-decade low, adding an additional sense of security for home buyers. So we're continuing to see that housing demand has been bolstered by a very strong rebound in net migration.
The population of Greater Sydney is expected to grow by 1 million by 2041.
Damn, good time to get in, guys.
Million people. To cope with that influx, the state needs about 900,000 additional dwellings by then, according to government estimates. But the tight supply of homes for sale isn't the only problem.
Rental markets in Australia are incredibly challenged at the moment. So we've got vacancy rates which are at or close to record lows in most capital cities Australia-wide. We've got very strong demand to rent, and that continues to outstrip the supply of available rentals.
I was going to say that, like, when house properties are that expensive, you only really can rent, can you?
1% of the country's rental properties are available for occupancy, which is the lowest among comparable markets globally.
Damn.
And the tight supply partly explains why rents for houses and apartments surged by 16% and 20% respectively.
Damn. Good time to get an apartment.
Alone.
When we look at the affordability challenges that the housing market presents in Australia, we're seeing that it is the younger generation of Australians that are most impacted by these challenges, and also amongst those on lower income.
23-year-old Harry and his mother live on the outskirts of Sydney. Harry is a student and has a part-time job with a 2-hour commute each way. They're bearing the brunt.
I'm pretty sure after COVID, though, like, it's bad everywhere. But yeah, I think Australia's still on, like, the list of one of the worst.
Having been left with no choice.
So Airbnb's list? I actually don't think it is, though. I'm pretty sure they, like, debunked that it's not all Airbnb's fault.
Move from house to house to house.
The house we were in previously, I think we started renting it for $470 or $500 a week. It rose to $550. We just couldn't keep up with the cost. My mum is a Catholic primary school teacher. She's lived in the area for 20-something plus years, and she can't afford to
I think they're
live
actually just bringing in a new tax or a new law for Airbnb in Australia where you will get like massive taxes put on you. So it, like a lot of people end up putting them on the market, I think.
in the same area that she's lived in.
Harry says they were evicted from their rental house in 2022 when they asked for repairs to the shower.
And then suddenly
Honestly,
we just
wouldn't
had
be
to drop
surprised.
everything and spend all of our time looking for rental properties. Just inspection after inspection, and
They do be kind
afternoons spent
they
going
do
to
be kind of doing
inspections
that.
and applying for properties and not hearing anything back.
One of the inspections that we went to in a suburb nearby, we got there and there were around about 85 people, I think we counted. You don't really stand a chance when there's that many people who are going. It's the same with the pet. And it's kind of like, wow, you know, let me do a resume for my dog.
Yeah, having a
Hurdles
pet would be
remain
rough.
for building more homes to ease the supply crunch.
I own multiple homes
In the
and go to the city
background
throughout
are
the
the
year.
construction collapses, with firms going
You
bankrupt
reckon
by
it's
the
multiple
dozens.
homes?
A pandemic-driven building boom is partly to blame. Construction firms had agreed to fixed-price contracts with lockdown homeowners.
The other problem now with like a lot of houses like needing more houses to be built is that they're building really bad houses.
Looking to fix up their properties. But then the cost of labor and building materials spiked along with inflation. According to the Builders Collective of Australia, houses are now 30% more expensive to build
Good night,
than
night. I
before
have a
the
lovely
pandemic.
rest of your night.
For some, any kind of relief can't come soon enough.
One way to help alleviate current challenges in the Australian housing market is also by incentivising or increasing the supply of social and affordable housing. For a portion of housing market participants that are so often overlooked and for whom it is crucial to be able to access stable and secure housing tenure.
Across Australia, housing supply and housing affordability is a challenge. We are looking at opportunities to greater provide densification. We're looking at providing more planning pathways for different types of housing typologies. Firstly, increasing the social housing stock. Where you live.
Anyway, that's enough of that.